So I'm here with beautiful Belle. She has absolutely gorgeous skin, but I'm just making sure I pack it full of moisture before we do her makeup. I'm using the IS Clinical Reparative Moisture Emulsion, which is really, really hydrating and also just really helps to kind of brighten and plump up the skin. So I'm using the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturiser now. This is the illuminating one, so it's going to give it a really beautiful glow to skin. And I'm going to put this all over the face and also blend it down at Belle's neck too. Just concealing under eyes and just this little blemish now using the Hourglass Vanish Concealer, which is really beautiful, full coverage and nice and creamy too. So just popping that all around the eyes. And you can also use this anywhere else that you need a little bit more coverage. So I've concealed under eyes, but I'm also just packing a tiny little bit of that concealer in this area here where Belle's just got some natural redness. Because that foundation is really sheer, this just helps to keep skin looking really sheer and natural, but add that little bit more coverage where needed. So I'm just going to leave the skin to settle and I'm moving straight onto eyes now. I'm using the NARS Shadow Primer in the shade Medium. And I'm just popping that all over Belle's lids. And that is just going to make sure that our eyeshadow is really even and long wearing. So even though I've used that base, I'm now going to just apply a liner along the lid. This is a lime green liner by Dior, which I think was limited edition, but to be honest, any kind of liner that you use will have the same effect and just create that base and give the eyeshadow something to stick to so that you get lots of intensity from that colour. I'm using a Laura Mercier Caviar stick now in the shade Jungle, which is kind of like a deep forest green. By Terry also do a lovely deep green in this kind of chunky eyeshadow sticks. And I'm just kind of roughly sketching out a little area in the outer part of the eye, and then I'm going to blend that. And once that is on and blended, then we're going to apply eyeshadow on top. And that's going to make it really multi-dimensional. So now I'm going to use eyeshadows from this gorgeous bright palette, which is the Radioactive palette by Melt Cosmetics. I'm taking the greeny shade, which is called Xeon, and pressing that in kind of like the middle to inner part of the lid here. And I'm going to put a few different shades on with this eye look, because I think one of the nice things about doing something fun and colourful is when it's really kind of multi-tonal, and that gives it lots of depth too. So you've got a little dot of green there and there. You can see how intense these colours come out when they go on top of liners. Just blending and softening that now before we add another dimension and layer of colour. And now just a little pop of yellow is going in the centre of the lid. I kind of like to keep a little gap between the lash line and any bright colours that I use, because that way it stays really flattering and you can still get kind of that sexy intensity along the lash line. Now in just the outer corner here, try not to cover the eye as I do this, just putting a pop of turquoise. So pretty. And then we're going to blend this and add a darker shade on top to give us some more depth. So I'm going to use this deep purple shade in the outer corner and then this kind of dark teal in the inner corner now. And I think the beauty of doing a look like this is there's really no rules. You can literally do something like this with any colour combination, any palette. So I'm going to line inside the eyes now. Just look up for me. This is kind of like quite a vibrant blue shade, and I'm going to use a couple of different colours. So I'm using this shade in the outer corners of the eye and also the inner part of the eye here. And then in the middle, I'm going to use a slightly lighter and different shade. So this liner is a little bit of a lighter teal shade. It is called Deep End by Urban Decay, and that is what's going in the inner part of the waterline here. So just a little tip when you're lining inside the eye with something dark and you're wearing a light eyeshadow, or even when you're wearing no eyeshadow, if you take a little pencil brush, this one is from Fenty Beauty, and it's called a 220 Precision brush, and you just kind of go around the very edges of the waterline. That helps to kind of blend and soften that darker liner and just really work it into the lash line, so it's a lot more kind of flattering and just kind of makes the whole eye look work a bit better. So now I'm done with eyeshadow and I'm going to add just a few little individual lashes to this look. This is the medium length from my No Lash Lash. I don't want them to be super long and dramatic, I just want to add a little bit of volume to Belle's already beautiful lashes. The lashes are on, and I'm going to do something a little bit different with mascara today. I'm using this Max Factor False Lash Effect Primer. It's a blue primer, this, and I'm actually not going to follow with a mascara. I'm literally just going to leave the primer as is because it's super lengthening and volumizing, and it just looks amazing on its own. I'm just putting this all over the lashes, and I just want lashes to be really like a striking focal point with this makeup. So obsessed with these blue lashes, they're so fun. I'm going to just perfect the skin now, so I'm popping a little bit of powder on Belle's skin. This is the Lancome Long Time No Shine translucent powder. I actually really love this powder because I find that it's super mattifying where you need it to be mattifying, and has a little bit of kind of skin perfecting quality too. So just pressing this into the center of the face where I don't want too much shine. And then this look needs blush. So this blush is the gorgeous KKW Mario combo in So Graceful, which is a really pretty peach. I'm just pressing this onto Belle's cheeks. And I think peach blush is really nice with this look, but I want it to be a little bit shimmery too, so I'm going to add a really fun pop of pink highlight. Also just wanted to mention that I want to take a little bit of this blush up into the temples because I think this is a really nice way to frame this kind of colourful eye look. So to highlight now, I'm using this really beautiful highlight which is from Fenty Beauty. I'm just going to give you a closer shot of this because actually there is so nothing like this highlighter. It's such a gorgeous pink with so much glow to it. I'm a little bit obsessed with this. The shade is called Water Brat. And I'm just popping that on. Look at the shine that that gives. It gives a little extra pop of pink to the skin too. So I'm just going to comb through Belle's beautiful brows now. I've put a little bit of Urban Decay's fixing spray in my soap brows tin. I find this really helps to hold brows in place well. And I want these brows to be lovely and combed up and bushy. So now onto lips, and I'm using the Victoria Beckham Lip Definer in the shade 01, which is quite a pale peachy tone. And I'm working with a really well sharpened pencil and just going slightly over Belle's natural lip line just to give this kind of soft but fuller looking pout. I'm loving how that peachy tone is looking on Belle, so I'm just going over the top with a lipstick from KKW Beauty now. This is in the shade 90 Supermodel, which is the best name ever, which is kind of like a soft peachy pink. Quite matte, but also quite moisturising for matte lipsticks these are. I really like them. Just as the last step now, I'm going to set with a little bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Mist. And I have David here who's going to do some gorgeous hair to go with this look. And then we will show you the finished look at the end. So here is our finished look, glossy hair and glossy shoulders to match. I hope you all enjoyed.